When applying for a job, it's common for companies to request a list of character references who they can speak to their abilities and experiences on the job. The question is, who are the people you could turn to? Let's talk about who those people could be and how they will make your job search process significantly easier. Hi, Sheila is here from Amerital BPO Services. What is a character reference? A character reference is a recommendation provided by someone who knows you personally and can describe your attributes and traits. Find out how a character reference works, what it includes, and how to get one because you will likely need one at some point in your life. How a character reference works. A character reference may be required as part of the job application process, particularly for occupations requiring a high level of responsibility and trustworthiness. Often, you will put the person's contact information on the application, and the requester will reach out to them to obtain the reference. You usually won't see it unless they choose to show it to you first. The person then usually submits the reference in writing via letter or email, but it can be done verbally as well. Ideally, you will have previously contacted the person who is giving the reference ahead of time, so it won't come as a surprise to them. How to get a character reference? It's wise to ask someone you have seen recently because they will likely provide a more meaningful recommendation than an acquaintance you haven't been in touch within a decade. Also, be sure to choose someone who knows you well and thinks highly of you to help ensure that the reference is positive, personalized, and sincere. Now, another thing that we need to talk about will be who do you put there? Now, let's start approaching this starting with the levels. For no experience, fresh graduates. If you are fresh out of college, then you may not have a lot of professional relationships yet. Fortunately, academic references can be just as impactful as work references. The following are some of the academic references you could potentially utilize. Professors. Professors can attest to your knowledge, time management, and ability to apply what you have learned in the classroom to real-world scenarios. If you had a close relationship with a professor, they could be an ideal reference. Teachers. If you are applying for a job that doesn't require a college degree, then a reference from a teacher can be just as impactful. They can speak to your problem-solving abilities, communication skills, and motivation to learn. Faculty advisors. If you were involved in extracurricular activities, your faculty advisor can describe your leadership abilities and how well you work with others. Counselors. If you had a close relationship with your high school or college counselor, they can be a great reference. They can speak to your character as well as your ability to handle different type of situations. Now, the next thing will be if you already have work experience. You can list someone you've worked with in the past who can attest to your job performance. These references have first-hand experience working with you in a professional environment. A work reference may include managers. Your direct supervisor or manager is usually the best reference you can provide. They can speak to your day-to-day responsibilities, how you interact with coworkers, your work ethics, and more. Your current employer. Even if you are looking for a new job, your current boss may be willing to provide a reference if you have a good relationship with them and they are aware that you are seeking other opportunities. They can speak to your job performance as well as any skills or experience you have that will transfer well to the new role. Co-workers. If you don't have a close relationship with your manager or boss, another co-worker can provide a reference. Choose someone who has seen you work and can attest to your job skills. Clients. If you've worked with clients in the past, for example, if you are a freelancer, they can also be a reference. They can speak to your ability to complete work to their satisfaction as well as your ability to communicate in a respectful and clear way. There are other options as well. Even if you're applying for your first job, for instance, if you volunteered at a charitable organization, you could request a reference from the organizer or someone you work with. The best way to ask someone for a reference. Once you've created a list of people you think will provide good references, you will want to contact them so that you can ask them to be a reference. After all, you won't want to add names and contact information to your resume without permission. First of all, make sure you contact potential references well ahead of time. You need to give them some time to consider whether they want to provide a reference or to determine if they even have the time to do so. Don't call someone the day before you plan on submitting a resume to ask for a written reference. A potential reference may not always have the time to help you. It is important to always be polite and thank them, even if they turn you down. This way, the relationship is protected and you can always try again in the future if you need. If a person agrees to provide the reference, offer details about what the hiring manager may ask. If you can, also let them know when they can expect to hear from a hiring manager. Finally, if they did provide a reference, follow up with them to offer your thanks. Be sure to inform them if you got the job as well. Choose your references wisely. When it comes to putting together references for a job, it's critical to choose wisely. After all, your references can make or break your chances of getting a job. As such, make sure you choose references that can best vouch for the skills and attributes required for the job you're applying for. Doing so will help to improve your odds of securing a job offer. If you found this video useful, remember to hit the like button and share it with your friends. Best of luck and we'll see you in our next video.